Great dinner, Mom.
Glad you like it.
Dad, there's something I want to talk to you about.
Oh, sure, honey. What is it?
Well, I've decided to move.
Move? Where?
To California. And I want to leave on Friday.
No offense, David Jaffe, but that's bullshit.
Well, welcome back to Gabbin and Games for... I just spit 'em! Welcome back to Gabbin and Games for the 3rd of January. It's nice to fucking see you. Darth Nugget in the chat says, I think I'm going to Domino's. I'll let the media know. There's no audio. What do you mean there's no audio? How is there no audio? Really? Hang on. My mic's going. It's going. You're telling me there's no audio. You're fucking with me. You've got to be... Fuck you, Tech Protect, you son of a bitch. God. They can hear me? God damn it. Now I've lost my vibe. What the fuck, Tech Protect? Yeah, that was you, God damn it. Jesus, Sarah, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, my friends, welcome to the show. It's good to see everybody. I appreciate you being here. There's a poll at the top of the chat there. There's a reason I'm asking it. I'll get to a little bit later in the show. But the question is, and this does relate to video games, how often do you have bad dreams or nightmares? Never, rarely, pretty frequently, or all the time? I'm curious. Later on the show, we're going to get to a story that has to do with video games and whatnot. In fact, here's a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a quiz. Basically, gamers have been found in a recent study to have these sorts of dreams. And they're not nightmares, but they're somewhat related. A little bit later in the show, we'll be talking about that. But since all of you guys are gamers, or you should be, I want to kind of see if the study actually relatively ties in. But the answer is not nightmares, no. But right now, if we look at the poll, we've got 65% are saying rarely, 20% pretty frequently, and all the time. So it's pretty easy win for the rarely, but we'll keep it up there until we get to the story. Okay. Movie Maniac says the new game from Little Nightmares dev look fucking sick. Yeah, the actual Little Nightmares 3 looks okay, but the one that's called something Animals or something, which is the new game from the Little Nightmares 1 and 2 developer, they've gone on to make this one, and it's very similar, it seems, looks fantastic. I absolutely agree. My nightmares are gamers, says Jezebeli. That's fair. Yeah, Matthew says, I dream every night and sometimes things get crazy, but I love every minute of it. Like I've said numerous times now, since I got my sleep apnea machine, I so enjoy sleeping and dreaming, because I dream all the time now. I dream and sleep deep. It is absolutely delightful. But we'll be getting to that dream story a little bit later. I do want to touch on this. This was a comment that was sent to me on the YouTube. There was a couple weeks ago, there were a couple of developers that were on and on about how, that gamers were like game developers were like, we hate gamers, right? They were kind of public with this issue. And a lot of gamers understandably got upset. But the more I think about it, though, I think it's obvious, but you tell me. But the more I think about it, I don't think when these developers say we hate gamers, and there's been about 3 of them that have publicly come out and made that clear. I think one of the guys on Avowed and other teams, I think it's pretty clear that these guys were not referring to most people who play video games. I think they were referring to the very vocal minority online and that comment and are negative. And I'll tell you what, man. If I was still making video games, I would have to have a producer remind me 5 times a day, Jaffe, don't go on social media. Don't do it. Don't read it. Certainly don't comment on it, because I hate a lot of these fuckers too. And it's not fun when you have disdain for your audience. You want to feel like you're serving them and you're giving them something awesome and you're connecting with them. And if they like what you like and like what you and the team makes, there's a connection there. But so many of these fucks are so negative. Do you realize we just did a stream earlier today about the most anticipated games of 2025? And there is so much to look forward to this year. And there was so much good stuff last year in games that I'm sorry, motherfuckers. I don't understand it. I don't get how people are complaining, but it is what it is. But I absolutely get when these developers are coming out and going, yeah, we hate gamers. They don't mean that. They mean they hate the people like Grums or the people who are always negative or whatever. That's what I think is pretty fucking clear. By the way, so we did that 2025 game anticipated list earlier today. There's another game that I only just got on my radar in between. That's how much we never stop working on this show, Tech Protect and I. It's ongoing. It's not healthy, but it's all for you. Well, not you, but everybody else it's for. A game came onto my radar that a demo is coming out into this month, and I'm like, holy cow, that sounds great. We will be talking about that a little bit later in the show. It's a brand new game. That's all I'll say for now, but I'm going to show you a deep dive into it towards the end of the show. It's not Killer Bean, PK99, although Killer Bean, where the fuck is it? I'm looking forward to that. It looks great. Movie Maniac going back to the We Hate Gamers statement. Terrible PR to make blanket negative statements about your audience, though everyone plays games now, so the term doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it is. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't mind if some of these guys push back a little bit in the PR and said, you know what? All it would take would be them to go, you know what, guys? If Sony came out and said this and said, we have been making video games for you guys now for 30 years, and we've made things together that you love and you hate, but overall, clearly, we're passionate about it. You're passionate about it. But you know what? Sometimes we mess up. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we try and it doesn't work. Here's an example, Concord. We get it. You didn't like it. Guess what? We pulled the plug. After 2 weeks, it became very clear that this wasn't going to fly. We pulled the plug. The audience has spoken. But stop being such fucking dicks to the people that make this shit. You fucking want to make it? Here's where you send your resume in. Otherwise, sit down and shut the fuck up. You have a right to complain, but stop being assholes. I wouldn't mind that if a company like Sony or Microsoft or any of these guys push back from time to time at a corporate level, just to kind of make it so their teams understand that they got their back. But it's this idea that, the customer, you shouldn't, fuck you. Sometimes the customer's a fucking asshole and they need to be called out. I'm not yelling at you. I don't care, Mark. Mark says that would go over well. You know who it would go over well with? It would go over well with the people who are most gamers, who are like, yeah, right? Who are just like, yeah, sometimes the games suck and we get a refund or we don't buy it, the reviews tear it down, we move on with our fucking life. But yeah, I think most gamers would be totally okay with that. Jaffe wishes the corpos would clap back so he could cheer. I wish the corpos would clap back because I think somebody needs to be standing up at a high level for these developers that consistently get shit on by these fucking asshole grifters. That's what I think. But we'll see. Jaffe, curiously, do you think Sony asking a little too much on their tier list? Fuck Escape. Thanatos, I don't understand that comment. I think it's English. Jaffe, curiosity. Do you think that Sony asking a little too much for their tier list? Fuck Escape. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I agree with that, Jonathan. They don't make it very easy to return a bad game. That's a great point, though. They should be better at that. Absolutely. All right, but anyway, I wanted to bring that up. Somebody had commented on it on the YouTube, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, it's not the gamers and customers don't have a right to be upset when they get upset. I get it. But there's a point where it's like, you know what? They're not always going to fire, a perfect shot, but they've earned some credit. Stop being such dicks. Dark says, Jaffe, the devs would hate us even more if we all band together and stop buying their games. Hey, then look, if you feel, Dark, that the gaming industry has let you down to the point that you don't want to spend your money, I support that. But I'm sorry, last year's been a great year, and coming up, looks like another great year. Frank Blasi, thank you for the super chat. He says 2025 so far has sucked for games. Prove me wrong. Well, let me think. Has anything come out in the last couple of days? I don't know. I don't know if I can prove you right or wrong. Mutant Mo is asking me to put my volume up. Is it too low? I know you're working, I think, Mutant Mo, so I don't want to turn it up just for you, but I can, but I just don't want to blow people's ears out. But you guys let me know on the audio. I'll turn it up just a little bit for good Sir Mutant Mo. Okay. All right. You know what bugs me? I am your beast, says Brett Moore. I got these people. It is so gross to me that whenever people, thank you, Bukaki, whenever people are coming at me and commenting on my take on the new Kratos, I don't know if they think like they're being clever, like they're the first people who thought about it, but they like to quote the line that Kratos says, like it's something like, I'm your beast no longer. And it's like, yes, I know, guys. They're like, yeah, gotcha, Jaffe. It's your audio, your line coming back to haunt you. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it isn't. That was a line I wrote in 2005. He is my beast no longer. He hasn't been my beast for a very long time. I'm okay with that. That's not a dig at me. That's not a, oh yeah, burn. It's like, yeah, I know. So what? Movie Maniac, thank you for the super chat. He says, did Amy Hennig ever tell you Uncharted 4's real story? You mean the reason she was no longer part of the game? Or do you mean like there's a secret narrative to the Nathan Drake, Cassie Drake linear structure? But if you mean why she left Naughty Dog, I know a lot of the real story, but that did not come to me from Amy. I don't know Amy that well. I've talked to her about 3 times in my whole life, and we've talked once or twice on social media. But no, in terms of the story she wrote, no, I have no idea. Oh, I'm with you, Thanatos. Thanatos says, I think people using Kratos and Twisted against you, Jaffe, are idiots. Without you, none of that would have ever existed. Yeah, but you know what? They're young kids. They don't know, and that's fine. They're not supposed to know. They think everything was invented, the day Overwatch came out. There were no video games before that, I mean, they're dumb. They don't have any fucking history, which is fine. That's what young people... they got lives to live. They're busy. I get it. But yeah, there is a point where you'd think, I guess here's the deal. I don't care if it's YouTube people or Sony people or any of that shit. I just think there needs to be big voices standing up to these fucking assholes. Now, one could argue that no one needs to stand up to him because most people don't really listen to him. You're probably right. Thrill666, Thrillho, says, Jaffe, are you going to play Schoolboy Runaway? Thank you for the super chat. I have never in my entire life heard of a game called Schoolboy Runaway, but I guess now I need to look it up. Put a banana in their tailpipe? Okay. I know I like to ignore them, but sometimes a comment comes across the YouTube and I have to say something. But let's turn our gaze to Schoolboy Runaway Schoolboy Runaway. I'm not going to put it on the stream until, what the fuck is this? 3D first person game, stealth hiding, don't get caught and don't make noise. What? Okay. I mean, can he escape from Schoolboy Runaway, the gate escape? I don't know. I'll look into it and see if it's worth see if it looks horrible, but I guess that's the point. Okay. Check the trailer. Would you? Okay. I'll put the trailer on if there is a trailer. Schoolboy Runaway trailer. Okay. Okay, it's a 2-minute trailer. Let's pop it on and see what the kids are.
Hurry up! I'm freezing already.
Hang on, kid. Hang on. I gotta get you on the screen. One moment. All right. This is Schoolboy Runaway, I guess.
Hurry up! I'm freezing already. Let's go!
Yeah.
Mom, can I go play? My friend is here.
Wait, what's that? A nap? Teacher's note? Misbehaved in class? He's grounded today!
I
Wow.
need to find a way to sneak out of the house.
Yeah. Don't put up with your bullshit,
Take your
parents.
mother for a fool!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So much smoke!
What the fuck is happening? Oh my god.
Gotcha!
What is this game? Oh my god.
What a lazy bum!
This is horrible.
I don't get it.
Okay, I just want to be clear. What the fuck what is this show? Schoolboy Runaway. Okay, hang on. Let me make the screen bigger so we can all see it and enjoy the hideousness that is this. I've never heard of this, but it looks delightful. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for turning me on to it. Here we go, Schoolboy Runaway. This is Runaway.
Behaved in class? He's grounded today!
I
Bitch.
need to find a way to sneak out of the house.
Do you take your mother for a fool?
God,
Damn! So much smoke!
so abusive, this house. Jesus, I was a good dad. Thank God. God damn. Jeez. This would trigger a lot of people. A lot of people had lives like this, had parents like, oh, where's she go?
I don't get it. Who turned on the light? 18? 19? 20?
Why is she watering a Christmas tree? Oh.
I need to go pee.
You're not going to pee in his mouth, are you? Come on, Jaffe. Nobody said that.
Was someone here?
Oh, he needs to murder his parents.
Wrong way again.
Throw the meat at them.
Stop!
I mean,
Who broke the glass?
Who passes like that anyway?
Tell me where you hide.
oh no.
Stop right there! Gotcha!
I need to do a running jump into the hay.
Oh, it's Assassin's Creed. Oh, she gonna jump off the roof? Oh, you dumb bitch! Can he call Child Protective Services? Oh my god! Oh my god, that's fantastic. I would pay money for a subscription service that every month, if they brought me like 5 games like that. I think that's fantastic. I've never heard of that in my life, but I do very much appreciate you bringing it to my attention, Thrillho 666, because it's very nice to see the, it's nice to see the history of P. Turtle and sort of what his childhood was like. So I do appreciate that. Weird, man. Weird. Okay. It's very abusive. This is a nightmare that Jaffe's been talking about. No, it really isn't. It's not, but man. Okay. It is hilarious. Yeah, I should stream it sometime. I mean, it's $6 on Steam. Oh, I'll totally get it. I'll totally get that fucking game. Okay. Have I heard of Fragpunk? Yeah, I've played it. It's the card game shooter. I played the demo. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Anyway, that's good. That's good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. I want to tell you guys some very bad news, and it's also awesome news at the same exact time. I've been raving for over a year about GeForce Now, and this was the first time. Yeah, is that Rob the Mod's new game? Yeah, it's totally made on. It's his art game. It's his autobiography. And this is the first time over Christmas that I loaded up GeForce Now to play, and I got this on my screen. And I love that I saw this, but I hate it, which is basically saying looking for the next available rig, games ahead of you, 85. It is the first time that I have ever seen a fucking wait time for GeForce Now. And I pay for the highest tier. Hang on, let me fix that. I pay for the highest tier, and I'm still getting it. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? But I guess, especially with CES coming up in just a couple of days, we're going to be seeing probably the new NVIDIA graphics card on GeForce Now, I would assume. And that's probably one of the reasons they've capped it at 10 hours a day or 3 hours a day or whatever. But yeah, man, it's a great service. And this is toned down. I only got this once, and now there's no queue at all. I don't know what it was about that day, but it was kind of cool to see this. And I'm also very happy about the fact that, people who actually play it after we talk, a lot of them have come back and said, dude, you're right. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. How fast do you think they'll upgrade to GeForce Now to the 5000 series cards? I have no idea. I should be quick if they want to keep my money, because it's a great experience. And that's sort of part of the fun, is that I don't have to go hunt one down. I don't have to pay the exorbitant amount to get it. I just get my $20 a month and I get the latest and greatest. So I don't mind if they take a month, but after it comes out, but it better not come out much later than that. I'd be annoyed. But here's where we're going to know coming up, and we will be covering it to some extent on the show, is CES, of course. CES starts on the 7th, which I think is a Monday. We're not going to get too much into tech here. I'm not a tech guy. I don't really get excited by tech. What I love about the show, the CES show, is obviously that, you know, that Sony will have a press conference. We'll probably stream that and whatnot. But most of it is either the weirdest fuck tech that we get to see, and I'll show you a little bit of that right now. Why does the dog always bark when I stream? For example, what we're looking at is air purifying headphones. These are from last year, right? This is a little robot that'll bring you toilet paper if you're sitting on the toilet and you're basically out of it. There's a smart toothbrush. That's a pretty good idea. A pet dryer for when you give your dog a bath. You can put them in there, hit a button. You got a fork with AI. This is the kind of shit that I really like. I like all this stuff. But what I'll say, though, is that I want to cover that. I want to find all the really weird shit. And I also want to find the stuff that directly relates to gaming. Like every year, there's some kind of weird smell-o-vision system. Sony's going to be there as well. Sony usually does a press conference, and it's all of their divisions. So you'll see their tech divisions, their camera divisions, PlayStation, music, movies, and they just kind of come out. Is there an AI dildo? There's definitely sex toys there, yes. And AI, of course, this year is going to be very, very, very big, and that's going to be a lot of fun to see what they shove into AI. Look at this, vacuum shoes. It's literally a pair of shoes that when you wear it, vacuums your fucking floor. I mean, come on. This is a product that it's called Hush Me. It's a dumb product. It's designed to make its user mute other people in the immediate vicinity. Useful in workplaces. But if a coworker gave me one of these, they'd better be wearing vacuum shoes to clean up all the gleefully stomped on bits. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, though. I love seeing all this stuff. Would I ever have sex with a sex bot on stream? No. Why? But would I ever get if I could get a real life sex robot woman, not like a blow up doll, but like a woman that's a AI? Fuck yeah. And you would too. And don't pretend you wouldn't. Of course you would, you idiot. Of course you would. What's the AI fork going to do? I think it counts. Here's what it does, honestly. When you're eating, it vibrates if you're eating too quickly. So it's meant to kind of promote mindful eating, right? So anyway, there you go. So that'll be coming up on Monday. We'll start covering that and talking about that. I'm looking forward to it. Finally, one other thing I want to let you know, sometimes next week or the week after, we will be doing the Gabbin' Games Game of the Year show. I will be giving you my games of the year 2024. Right now, I've got Hectorhowl's games. I've got Jojo D's games. If you want to be involved and make a video, 1 to 2 minutes, giving me your top 3 games 2024, I will play it on the show and make it part of the show. I would love to hear what you guys felt were the best games of the year. Send it to me on the Discord, and we will go from there. Also, we're about to get into the news, but I want to let you know if you want to call into the show, we'll take calls towards the end of the show. Tech Protect can put the link up to the Discord if you want, but we'll take calls from you guys a little bit later if you see something on the show today that you want to talk about and share your view with it. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family, 1963. It was the superhero team that pulled Marvel Studios pretty much out of what was going to be certain bankruptcy, right? And they're coming to Marvel Rivals, according to a leak. You've got Human Torch, Johnny Storm. You've got Ben Grimm, The Thing. Kevin, listen, I love that you're a gay dude, man. It's great. You're proud and loud and all that stuff. Could we keep the sex talk down in the goddamn chat, please? It's not like I'm like a prude, but it's like everything these days is like, he literally just wrote, just a 12-inch dick right up your ass robo style. I would like to make a business out of this show. It's hard for me to do that when I basically have people writing things like, who in the chat would get pegged by a sex bot live on stream? Just a 12-inch dick right up your ass, Robo style. It's difficult for sponsors to come to the show and go, you know what? Jaffe's a pretty wholesome broker. Let's fucking do that. Let's God damn it, Kevin, you piece of shit. Tech Protect, write something in the YouTube and I'll mod you so you can put the link up. God damn. Okay. I, for one, would get dicked down by a robot, says Nudsky. What's the matter with all of you people? Here we are talking about Benjamin J. Grimm, the Thing. The goddamn Thing. And you know, whatever. Idiots. Okay. I never say out of pocket. Do you know why I never say out of pocket, Bukaki? Because I'm a white guy. That's the reason I never, ever fucking say out of pocket. Good God. I can't help but be racist. It's true. It is true. We got Ben Grimm, one of my favorite characters of all time in Marvel. We got Herbie the Robot. We got Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, and we got Mr. Fantastic. I love all these characters, and I am excited for... Rivals hasn't totally gotten me in its grip yet, but I want to tell you what do you mean it's kind of racist? I'm a white guy. White guys shouldn't say on fleek, and we shouldn't say out of pocket, because you sound like a fucking moron. The Human Torch, the ability kit has been leaked. If it's true, he will be a duelist that can create walls of flame to harm enemies and protect allies. That sounds pretty good. The walls can be used for defense or as a way to control zones like Groot does with his branch walls, right? Listen to this, though. I didn't call black people morons, you whore. I said white people shouldn't fucking say it because it's vernacular of African American slang from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, like woke. And so you're basically appropriating words and you don't really know how to use them and you sound like a fucking moron. Shut up, Bukaki. He's like, oh, cool. Human Torch uses fire. Cool. Mm. Listen, Dick. What I'm saying is this next part. If you guys would shut the fuck up. Human Torch is rumored. Wink. Rumored to have a team-up ability with Storm, enabling the heroes to combine and create fire tornadoes on the battlefield. Come on. Another leak reveals Ultron for Marvel Rivals. He'll have a bunch of drones that attack enemies and heal his teammates. Listen to this. You got Sue Storm is going to be a strategist. I don't really know what that means. Is she going to just be putting up shields or bubbles or whatever, going invisible? And then Mr. Fantastic is listed as a duelist. And Mr. Fantastic better have some fucking stretch, abilities. I don't want I'll use a scientific thing and make Herbie the Robot and send them out to become a turret. No, you fucking give Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, the ability to stretch. I mean, think about that. He plants himself and then he goes, puts his hand out, and then you're simply controlling the hand as it's moving really quickly through the level. And then if you can get close to someone and grab them, then you can be like, bam, 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 or you can do like 5 things. You can grab somebody and slam them. You can put your hand up as a shield. Ideally, if I was making the game, you could flip them off and it would like make the sensitive characters cry. But they better fucking do something like that. It would be awesome. Also, last thing on Marvel Rivals, again, I know not everybody plays it, and I am trying to get into it because I love the characters, and I did enjoy the beta, but I just haven't been able to get into the final for some reason. But if you're interested in the game, there is a new website that went up called rivalskins.com, and fans made it, and the idea is they have been collecting all of the currently discovered character skins. And the character skins are excellent in this game. And the character designs are excellent in this game. So if you're interested, go to rivals.com, and you can also see the emotes, the sprays that have been uncovered. But the costumes are the ones I'm really interested the most in, right? So look at this Punisher costume. Punisher 2099. It's fucking gorgeous. I love playing the Punisher. Or where's another one I saw that was really, really cool? Oh, well, here's Spider-Man when he wore the plastic bag over his head because he didn't have his costume. That's a fucking costume you can get. Captain America has this awesome one. Look at this one. Captain AIM Erica. Look at that. He's got the AIM colors, but he's still fucking Captain America. Come on, man. It's beautiful. Anyway, I don't agree that Avengers Arathizel was a way better game. I think that's ludicrous. Avengers had its moments, but no, this is a solid, really good, fun title. And then Wolverine, I don't know. This is just the normal Wolverine costume, right? But anyway, something to think about. The art's amazing. I agree. Yeah, Just Think says, Merc, Marvel has years worth of stuff to pull from, right? 100%. 100%. But anyway, yeah. So check it out if you're interested. I really need to get into this game. I just gotta pull myself away from Call of Duty. Boy, to hear the Call of Duty discourse online though, you would fucking think Call of Duty's a piece of shit. People are bitching about the cheating and bitching about the cost, and I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Why?
Everybody hates you, and I'm glad your husband died. He probably killed himself.
Probably. But I don't know why they're hating on it, but I think it's pretty fucking good Call of Duty. But I do want to get into this. I want to spend a little bit of time. Okay. Sure. God, is everybody so negative? Dread's like, they should have just made Ultimate Alliance 4. Meh. No, they shouldn't have. This is a great fucking game. It's got tons of people playing it. Kevin says, Jaffe, so if we say dirty stuff in the stream, does that scare sponsors? How would I know? No sponsors are fucking calling me. What, are you kidding? Hi, I have these shows on YouTube. Oh, we'll go click. Not calling you back, you fuckface. Yeah, whatever. But what am I going to do? Conform to their bullshit standards? I won't do it. Okay, let's move forward. Jaffe's gonna, hey, I would take a sponsor by Adam and Eve. I would love to be sponsored. If you're a sponsor, if you're a pot dispensary, a head shop, a sex toy thing, a counterculture video magazine, whatever the fuck, I would love that. I don't want to be sponsored by BetterHelp. I don't want to be, yeah, Warrior says, what, not Adam and Steve? I don't want to be sponsored by HelloFresh. I want to be sponsored by companies that actually vibe with the fucking show. The fuck do I want to be sponsored? Yeah, this in here. Welcome to HelloFresh. Do I look like I eat HelloFresh? Do I look like I fucking take the time to make healthy meals? Jesus, idiots. Okay. Or Ozempic or GeForce. I use that shit. Elbow grease lube. Fine. You know, no woman I've ever been with needs the lube. But that said, though, I know a lot of you guys, you know, you need all the help you can get. Okay. Jonathan says, you look like you like pizza. I do, bitch. I like pizza a lot. Okay. All right. What if Grum's called? I'll sponsor you. Can you imagine? Listen to this, though. Let's talk about this. Now, I don't like, you guys know I have a bone to pick with Asmongold. I don't like him. He seems like a bit of an asshole to me. But whatever. It's irrelevant. That's not my main point. My main point is the man, from time to time, will say some smart things. And even though I found a couple of scenarios that kind of poke a hole in his theory, end of the day, what he said about this was, I thought, pretty good, where he was talking about the like and dislike ratio on YouTube and how a lot of times that can be a pretty good weather balloon, trial balloon for if the game's going to do well. And he isn't wrong, although, you know, there are some things that's not always correct, but it's right enough to be a valid discussion point, right? And Forbes wrote about this, about how, Suicide Squad proves that out. Concord certainly proves that out. Redfall, X-Defiant proves it out. Helldivers prove the opposite. They had 39,000 likes to 585 dislikes. Although I didn't think that particular, game had a great trailer, but clearly a lot of people did. But here's one they're pointing out now. They're talking about Fair Games. They said the reveal trailer has a Concord level ratio, 4,000 to 51,000 dislikes. Forbes says, I'm not kidding when I say that kind of reception should be enough to scrap the entire game, then go through another launch that awful. And the vibes here are beyond bad. So I'm just saying, in Marathon, thank God, is, 100K to 5K dislikes. But Fair Games, we talked about this earlier. Fair Games, I think they've kind of gone dark because they need to figure out if this is something they can fix, right? Even though the whole trailer was just CG, there is a sense of this may be fundamentally, if this is kind of the vibe of the game, people are not liking it. And I think that's absolutely accurate. Tell that to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's dislike ratio, then look up the best-selling game of the year. Yeah, like I said, there are cases where the exception proves the rule. But more often than not, I do think Asmongold's point is a valid one more often than not. I'm not saying you can't find exceptions. Of course you can. But in this case, though, I think Fair Games is probably going to be in a relatively decent amount of trouble. Do you think Sony suits are getting worried, says One Pump? I think it really depends on what they have. I think if they know that the trailer isn't indicative of the actual product, then I think absolutely. Then they're not worried. But I do think, I absolutely think, though, that if this is kind of what they made and this is kind of the vibe of it, I would be worried, and I would be going in and going, okay, not a problem. That's one more lesson for us. Let's adjust the art style, because it's either that or go out of business, right? Okay. Oh my God. Could you guys please stop talking about Gina? Yes, she is a woman. We have a growing group of women who watch the show. Gina happens to also be an attractive woman. So what? She's also a moron. Oh my God, did you just call your pal a moron? Only because I want to see what she'll do. She's actually one of the smartest people I know in video games. That said, though, Jesus, shut up. Yes, Gina, just say her name 50 times. Gina, 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 Gina. Are we done? Do we get it out of our system? You're a moron. Oh, good, Gina. That's her comeback. What are you, 5? I said Gina's a moron. She's like, you're a moron. You got me, pal. You got me, pal. I didn't say you're talking shit about Gina. I'm just saying, it's like, what can we do to get Gina to call in? Shut the fuck up. Anyway, look, let's focus. Let's focus. We have work to do here. We have important work to do here at the Institute. So, I don't know why they're on and on. Kajina, yeah, she's great, man. She's got her own channel. By the way, Gina, I will tell you, your opening of the video that you did about me, the interview, the editing was great, by the way. Like the opening editing of the montage was excellent. There were some parts in the chat that I'm like, I don't know about that. But overall, I thought was really great. So good job. Absolutely. Okay, let's move forward with our goddamn day. Listen to this. Marathon, the Sony game, Bungie is hiring a gameplay analyst for Marathon. So if you are curious about what this game may be, they've given us a little bit of a hint. I mean, we've already gotten a couple of hints, but what they say is if you want to be a gameplay analyst for Marathon, you must have a minimum of 200 plus hours in Escape from Tarkov or a similar title. I think that's excellent, and that's very telling. You must actively play the ranked modes in Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends, or Rainbow Six Siege. So again, I like this. I like that it suggests that Sony is going to have a real core multiplayer game out of this. And when you throw in the fact that you're talking about great weapons, great gunplay, great melee from the Bungie guys, this could be really fucking excellent. I'm looking forward to it. But if you qualify for that, if you're a gameplay analyst and you want to go work for Sony, 200 hours in Escape from Tarkov or similar, that's kind of what you need to get in the door. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Have I looked into the game Dispatch at all, says Sigrat. Dispatch, is that the police game? Oh, no, Dispatch is the game. Alana Pierce has a voice in that. And so I think does a lot of big voice actors. And this is like you're a call center guy for superheroes. All I saw was the trailer, and it looked absolutely excellent. It looked excellent. But no, I don't think the gameplay's out. Bukaki says, have you looked at the picture of my penis I sent in DMs? Oh my God. I thought you were sending me a picture of a thimble from a sewing kit. I had no idea, Bukaki.
I wish my fucking foot would go right through your skull.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Aaron Paul's in it. That's right. Now, remember at the top of the chat, I asked you guys, what are your nightmares like? How many nightmares do you have? Let me give you, let's close the poll and then I'll give you the final rundown here. Okay. The final rundown is all the time 5%. 13% is pretty frequently. Never is 13 and 67% is rarely. So basically you're looking at 80%. And that tracks, and here's why it tracks. I thought this was absolutely fascinating, and I know Jojo D will appreciate it because of something he put in the chat earlier that he didn't think I saw, but I saw it. There's a psychiatrist who did a study, and she's done a couple of studies. Her name is Jane Gackenbach, and frankly, if that's your name, what else are you going to fucking do? But here was the thing. Here was the intro. Maybe you're meandering alone and lost through an abandoned castle surrounded by a crocodile-filled moat. Suddenly, a flame-breathing dragon hurls towards you, snarling and gnashing its teeth, coming in for the kill. Do you wake up from this bizarro nightmare covered in sweat and close to tears? Or do you stay in the dream, grab your imaginary sword, and walk boldly into battle? If your answer is the latter, then Jane Gackenbach, come on now, would suspect you're also a hardcore gamer, okay? She did studies that solidified a key earlier finding of hers, that so-called hardcore gamers were more likely than their peers to experience lucid dreaming. Gackenbach first, this is coming from The Verge, Gackenbach first reached the conclusion in 2006 after noting gamers and lucid dreamers both displayed traits. We'll get to nightmares in a second. Both displayed traits like intense focus and superior spatial awareness in their waking lives. Indeed, when she surveyed 125 gamers and non-gamers on the frequency with which they had lucid dreams, Gackenbach found a strong association between the two. She found that during lucid dreams, gamers had control only over themselves as a character, or not. She also found during the dreams, gamers had control only over themselves as a character, but like in a game, they were able to toggle between first and third person. She says gamers already know what it's like to be in control in an alternate reality, so it makes sense that a gamer would notice, hey, I'm in a dream, and know how to manipulate the situation. Come on, man, this is cool. This is cool. She also noted that some heavy gamers seem to be this is really cool, seem to be nonplussed by dreams that would qualify as nightmares, namely those that present frightening or threatening situations. In fact, gamers seem to readily take control and even enjoy such unpleasant nighttime illusions. In other words, she says, while a non-gaming person might wake up in a cold sweat, a gamer would carry on with their slumber. That said, the finding is largely applied to male gamers. She's still trying to figure out why. That it only seems to apply to male gamers. Here's the thing about the nightmares. One theory is that nightmares are an evolutionary mechanism that train us to deal with threats in a safe environment before we encounter it in real life. If gaming helps people feel protected during the training, It might also bolster them in waking hours. She says, if you look at how this might affect, say, military personnel, then it could have significant benefits. Maybe games can actually remove the need for nightmares and the threatening feelings that come with them. Think about this. 80% of you guys, all hardcore gamers, said you barely ever dream nightmares. Barely ever, if at all. 80%. We just did a study for this Gackenbacken hack, who's married to Hiroki Totoki, I think. Isn't that cool? I think that's the most fascinating thing I've read all day. Most fascinating thing. Jojo D, who had a lucid dream this week, says, I knew I was in a dream. It freaked me out. I loved it, even though I got scared because I didn't know how to wake up. I dream almost every night as well, but I don't lucid dream as often as I would like. It's very, very fucking rare. Matthew says it's true. I dream every night and they are very game-like now that I think about it. I never made the connection before. I know, it's cool. One Pump says I dream a lot, but nightmares are rare for sure. Absolutely. 100%, man. It's good stuff. Good study. Would you like to know the characters that most people dream about? There's also a study. It's anecdotal evidence, so, you know, I wouldn't put my money on it. But Mary Jane Gackenbash sounds like a funky porn name, says Tyler. It's true. According to anecdotal evidence, some of the video game characters people most commonly dream about are Mario, Pikachu, Sonic, Lara Croft, Link, and characters from Silent Hill and Resident Evil. This is likely due to their iconic status, strong visual design, and the emotional engagement players have with those particular characters while playing. Think about that. I don't know if I've ever dreamed of a video game character. Ever. I'd like to. I know when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the movie Grease. Shut up. And I always wanted to I want to go to sleep and dream the whole movie. Then I can just watch it in my dreams. Shut up. Anyway, so let's move on. Speaking of horror, hang on. You dream about songs all the time, Jose says. Really? What does that mean? Like the making of a song, or what do you mean? Indiana Jones? Oh, well, Philip, there's my brother in the chat. Indiana Jones, I never dreamed of watching Raiders, but I had dreams before Crystal Skull came out. Probably 10 of them over the course of my life from 89 to when it came out, of what the movie would be like. And even in my dreams, I'm not fucking with you, even in my dreams where I dreamt it was bad, it was never as bad as the actual fucking movie that we got. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Okay. Do you ever have dreams, says Sagat, that should be nightmares, but during the course of the dream you feel calm? Usually. Yeah, I don't know the last nightmare I've had. It's been ages. It's been a very, very, very long time. The worst dreams I have are more when you wake up and you have an emotional feeling. Like I had a dream once where I woke up and I missed my kids, like a lot. Like, I don't know, in the dream they had gone to the other side of the world or something. And so it wasn't a nightmare, but you wake up and you're just like, oh my God, I'm so glad that, you know, I can call my kids, they're around and stuff like that. But no, you know, okay. I have a recurring dream. I'm flying to Japan and I miss the flight, and sometimes the flight crashes and I'm on it, but I wake up when it crashes. I see, Darth Nugget says, I see my dad in my dreams, and waking up and realizing he's dead sucks. I dream about my family all the time. I dream about my dad. I dream about my fucking grandparents on my dad's side, which I was never particularly close to. My sister, like, we're just it's just benign shit. We're just hanging out and doing stuff all the time. I had a dream when my dad died, about a year after he died, that I met him in a park. We're going to get back to games, I promise. That I met him in a park, and he was just normal, and we were walking. But behind him, there were two guys in white that were kind of in white suits, almost like, you know, I don't know, just white suits. And we were walking in this local park and we were just talking, and he acknowledged that he had died, and we were talking about that. But it was clear I couldn't ask him certain things, and that's why the guys in white were with him. It's like if I started to ask him things about, tell me, is God real? What's he like? They wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow it. So it was pretty interesting. Okay. I dream about my wife divorcing me, says Zack. Then I wake up and realize she's unfortunately still here. Yeah, that's true. I understand. Okay. Was it T-Buff? Who's T-Buff? T-Buff. Why do I know that? Who the fuck is T-Buff? Oh, I'm getting old. I forget references. Who is that? I heard a great line, though. Speaking of your wife and insults, I watched that movie over the weekend, Saturday night, about Saturday Night Live. It wasn't a great movie. It was more of like an episodic thing. It wasn't this awesome film. But there was this great line where Chevy Chase was with his girlfriend, who's played by Cindy Crawford's daughter, who looks pretty much just like Cindy Crawford did back in the day. And J.K. Simmons plays Milton Berle. And Milton Berle, who's like 80 in the movie, is coming on to his girlfriend. And he says something dickish, Chevy Chase, to Milton Berle. And Milton Berle says, well, if you're waiting for my comeback, you'll have to ask your mom to scrape it off the back of her teeth. And I was like, I've never heard that before, but that was pretty fucking good. I got to use that. So, all right, listen to this. Silent Hill 2 remake director pitched a Lord of the Rings horror game. And I thought about this, and at first I thought this was pretty interesting and pretty cool. And then I thought about it, and I said, well, it's kind of already horror with the ring wraiths and Gollum. And so, you know, if you could play like a fantasy game, but it's like Resident Evil 2, but it's set in the world of Lord of the Rings, I wonder if I would want to play that. Like, what would it feel like? I'm much more interested in horror in places like... I want to see World War II horror. I want to see a group of soldiers like Saving Private Ryan that takes cover in this like German chateau, and it ends up being haunted. Wait, T-Buff? That looks like Boss Hogg. I don't know who that is. My brother sent me a picture of T-Buff. Is he a car salesman? Or I want to see, you know, I hear this month there is a movie, a game coming out about, it's like Resident Evil 2, but it's with like ghost pirates. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool. Brett Moore says, wasn't there a World War I survival horror indie? Yeah, but it was more like, it's kind of top down, and it was more really kind of hardcore semi. I would want something that's a little bit more mainstream, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, I mean, look, I'm very excited to see what the Silent Hill 2 remake team does next, because I thought it was great. One of the best games of the year, easily top 5, but I'm glad they didn't get the Lord of the Rings horror game. I'm very excited to see, something from them that's not branded. I want to see some new shit from these guys. Horror game in Victorian England would be cool, featuring Jack the Ripper, says Michael. Yeah, but there's so much horror in that era, or at least in that kind of visual design, that I don't know if that would really excite me. Yeah, you could go down into the mine of the dwarves, but still, you've got creatures there anyway. Sigrat says, Jaffe, I have a friend asking your opinion on reverse horror power fantasy games like Carry On or Maneater. I like them conceptually, but Carry On I thought was a little too hard to control, which is the thing. I think it's on Game Pass now, but it's like this the blob with tentacles, and you control that and all that stuff. And, you know, it's kind of like a Metroidvania meets the old arcade game Rampage. And it's fun, but it doesn't feel like horror. And Maneater's the game where you control the shark, and that's kind of fun, but, you know, I don't really think they feel like horror. Frank Blasey says a horror game set in Vietnam would be interesting. I agree with that. There's a little bit of that flavor in Black Ops Cold War, or one of the Black Ops, the one that with when you start seeing all the enemy soldiers suddenly get the face of the main bad guy and the red doors stop dropping from the sky and everything. they got close to it on that. And frankly, I liked that Black Ops campaign more than the modern one for sure. But yeah, and also I think the setting for what's the game? You know, we talked about it the other day. Underappreciated game of 2004, Banishers, which is set like in Puritan, New England. I think that's a great setting for horror as well. And I love, Fonzie says we need more horror in the settler era of America. I agree. I think doing like Old West horror would be cool. But when you're saying the Salem witch trials, the rumor is the next Assassin's Creed after Shadows is going to be about witches in the Salem witch trials, which I think is fucking absolutely awesome. I just think, in fact, let me see if I can find an image of it. Hang on. Assassin's Creed witches. It's Hex's code name explained. So here's this is from a last year news story, but I'm fucking in, man. Look at that. Assassin's Creed Hex, and it's all it looks like it's all about witches and witch trials and shit. Come on, how can you not be all into that? I'm super excited for that game. And I'm super excited for Shadows. So, there may not be a Ubisoft this time next year, but for now, I'm super fucking in. I'm super fucking excited. Okay, as a reminder, if you want to call into the show, put yourself in the call-in waiting room with your thoughts and theories and ideas and whatever you want to share. We will be getting to those towards the end of the show in the call-in waiting room if you have something to say. Okay. Let's move forward. Listen to this. This should surprise. And then Tech Protect. Thank you, buddy. He just put the link in the Discord or to the Discord in the chat. So listen to this. No one is surprised by this at all. And thank you, Bukaki. No one is surprised by this at all. And I never want to see people lose their jobs, but I certainly don't mind at a corporate level when these people lose their jobs, which might not be nice, but I don't care. Because I have always thought GameStop is a shit company. And apparently a lot of the workers, they're even shutting down more GameStops. So when it comes to, them trying to turn the company around and them trying to say, let's sell retro things, let's sell collectibles, whatever, clearly it's not working. And, it shouldn't work. I don't think anybody could survive with a normal video game company anymore, even if they were great. But GameStop just happened to be one of the worst, one of the absolute worst groups of video game companies that sell games. So I say good riddance, and I'm looking forward to when they're just gone, because their shops were run like shit. Not the individual employees, but the managers and the way they treated their employees, and then the way that got passed down to the customer. Terrible. Fucking terrible, man. Brett Moore says, I can't believe they're still hanging in there. Well, not for too much longer, it seems. I mean, unless they really are just trying to close it all down except one or two and make like a flagship store and see if they have one more pass at trying to stay alive. Lucas says it's on life support right now. I stopped going there because it was depressing. Right. Yeah, well, it was depressing even when they were thriving to me. It was all the stickers, and it looked like going into a pawn shop, and it smelled bad. Yeah, Eddie T says, bring back Babbage's. Look, man, when me and my brother, who's in the chat, were kids and teenagers, we would go to the mall, and there would be a Babbage's. And Babbage's, I'm not saying it was like stepping into fucking, some high-end department store, but it was clean, and it was pleasant, and it was staffed. It smelled fine, and it was staffed by people that knew about games and stuff. Let me see if I can find a picture of Babbage's. I think they did get bought out by the goddamn GameStop, I think. But it just felt more... And even the Babbage's I'm looking at here are the newer ones. Ours was like written in cursive. It said Babbage's in neon. It was cursive. And it wasn't so shitty. It wasn't so fucking shitty. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Ashton, you're calling me out for what? That does nothing for me. Ashton says, I'm calling you out, Jaffe, you punk. Why? You want me to know there are people in the world that don't use punctuation? I don't understand. We had Electronics Boutique as well, P. Dudley. Absolutely. I used to love it back then. $5, $10 gaming bins, all the walls filled with games used and new. Yeah, but even then, man, they had to upsell you on everything. It was, the carpet smelled terrible. There were these just gross stickers on even new games. You never believe them when they told you, oh yeah, this is a brand new game. I just have to, let me shrink wrap it because it's, think about that. You are the biggest video game company retailer in America. And you guys don't have a display box, which I know good and well the marketing teams and the sales teams would give you and did give you. And so you had to open up the game and put it on the shelf and take the game out. No, you didn't. You gave it to your employees to play. Fuck you, Bukaki. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Don't hand me an open game and tell me it's new. But, they were able, eventually Amazon caught up with them, but for the longest time, there wasn't a lot of competition. So, I get it. All right. I want to show you something I discovered today, and I just thought this was neat. It's about video games by way of Michael Jackson. We all know Michael Jackson was a big fan of video games. He not only starred in Moonwalker, but he also starred in his as a character in a game. And in this game, there's something he does that apparently we rarely ever saw him do, but he did it in the game. And I saw this today. I wanted to share it with you real quick. Here you go.
This isn't Michael Jackson's real voice.
It's a hard situation. It is. And it's something I have to put up with.
Just like his unmistakable outfits and white glove, Michael's soft and gentle speaking voice was just a part of his pop star Michael Jackson persona.
You know that voice, Michael Jackson's voice that you hear all the time, like, oh yeah, like that wasn't talking like that. It was like low-key deep.
So finally, after a couple of hours, almost the Brazilian officials leave, Spike leaves, and Michael just sitting there with my friend and said, at a certain point, Michael looked up and said, damn, I thought those motherfuckers weren't gonna never leave. Right? Now, and he says, hold up, and he says this, not in, damn, I don't think these motherfuckers will never leave. He says it like a black man would say, damn, I thought the motherfuckers were gonna never leave. Then he got up and walked out. And my friend was saying, he was sitting there like,
There's hardly any recordings of Michael using his real voice other than his song 2000 Watts.
Okay, I'll skip the song for copyright reasons, but they give you another example. Here's the other example.
And in 1999, when he lent his voice to Midway Games for Ready to Rumble Boxing, where instead of using his gentle speaking voice, Michael opted to use his real voice. Check it out.
So you be bad, huh? I don't move over for no one. They call me the king of pop. I'm gonna dance all over you.
Shimon.
Don't tango with the king of pop.
Goddamn right.
This isn't Michael.
Good old Michael Jackson. Good old Michael Jackson. Okay, so listen, here's the plan. Here's what we're doing. We're going to take a very small break, 5 minutes tops. When we come back from the break, we are going to do the following. We are going to look at people's gaming setups of 2025. Really fun thread on NeoGAF. They've been doing it since 2004. Some of these motherfuckers, I'm telling you, usually I don't care about any of this shit. These setups are amazing. Then we're going to look at the biggest disappointments of 2024 and how it contrasts with the biggest excitement and the most favorite games of the year, 2024, both by users, one on NeoGAF, one on Eurogamer. It's so weird to look at these. And then finally, we're going to talk about a new game that just got onto my radar because it was covered in the new issue of Edge magazine. I want to show you some of it. There's a demo coming out later this month, and it's pretty fucking cool. Here's what I'll say, though. If anybody wants to jump on the mic and take over for 5 minutes, ideally they would be a mod or it would be someone that I can trust so people aren't just sitting around bored. I will put some stuff up on the screen for you to look at, but let tech or let me know if you want to jump into the show and take over for a little bit. and talk for 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'll just let the trailers run for the first 5 minutes, and I'll be back, and we'll kick off the final part of the show. Does anybody want to grab the mic? I'll give you 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's this? Wait, who's this? Who's this in the show? Hang on. I don't know. It just says P. Hang on. I can't grab him. Hang on. Who is this? Can't help but be racist. Who's talking? Who's talking?
Plazookas.
All right, Plazookas. Bukaki, hop in there with Plazookas and Tech Protect if you get a minute. Hop in there, or Bukaki, drag Tech Protect in there, if you will, as well. And you guys just shout, keep it interesting. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Good luck, Plazookas. Make people excited.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
That was great,
Welcome.
Plazookas. That was terrible. That's
Welcome
how you're
to Gabbin Games break time. Well, Jaffe go gets
a Coke,
some food. He's off on Sunday, so he's now getting hungry all the time, apparently.
How's it going, Blazookas?
Hey, Tech Protect.
Yeah, how's your day been? How's the new year treating you?
Oh, the new year has been treating me very, very badly. I've been working too much, 16-hour days for the past couple weeks, even through Christmas and New Year's. So I need a break, but it's fine.
15-hour days?
Yeah, I mean, I have my real job, but I hobby as a game developer, and I've been working on this game and trying to get a demo out by early next year or this year now, and so that's been pretty taxing.
It's a long time. Wait, what game are you working on?
It's a card game, akin to like Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, those kind of things.
Okay. How far are you in development?
I'm pretty far. You know, I just started a Kickstarter today. I have basically a gameplay loop already done, and now it'll just be including new mechanics and game modes, and then I have to flesh out story because I'm gonna do an adventure style of the game, where it's gonna be like 5 chapters. And then if I get to it multiplayer at launch, that probably will come after. And then the biggest hurdle that I have is voiceover and sound effects.
Okay, that's pretty far along. Do you have a demo at all? A demo ready? A video?
Yeah,
or
it will be.
anything?
It will. Well, the demo will be available. You probably can put it up on screen. I technically could demo it right now, but I don't know if you can work that out or not.
Not right now when he's away from the computer, but we can probably get on the list of things to do. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward card game right now, but the biggest thing about the demo would be the graphics, the design philosophy, and stuff like that. As far as mechanics and different modes, I'm working on them right now, but those won't be available for the demo. The demo's going to be very generic.
You said it's like Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering. What's the which one do you think is more like?
It's definitely more like Hearthstone because of its digital, style.
8 years ago, Swapfire twisted your mind on Wii U. And right now, it's officially back in action on Steam. Beam into the mind-bending world of Swapfire and duke it out in the greatest game show of 2139. Shoot your opponents to swap spots so you can outwit and outmaneuver each other in Swapfire's arenas. Fly solo or with up to 4 players via split screen or Steam remote play together. And keep the contest going with 9 game modes to unlock. Scan the QR code on your screen to secure Swapfire today.
That can incorporate quickness of something like implemented it into the engine, and then voiceover and, like I said, sound effects are insanely tedious. And I really need to hire somebody to do that, but I'm not there yet. So that's why I did a Kickstarter to get that.
Okay. Do you have like a website that shows some of the card designs or?
Yeah,
somewhere people can
actually,
check
I do. It's Pick a Platform. Currently has a YouTube video with cinematics on it that showcases some of the heroes that you're gonna be able to find on release in December or so.
Hell yeah! Are you able to post it in the chat here on the side chat on Discord?
Yeah, sure. I can post it. I'll just post. I'll just do the name. I'm not gonna link it because I don't have privileges and I wouldn't do that anyway. Not my
No, in the side chat on Discord, the call that ran.
Oh yeah. I can do that. I can link that for you. Let me just get it up.
That's what she said.
Hello, Jaffe. Welcome back. Don't worry. Just continue to eat your food. We're trying to facilitate something. Everything's going very well. Okay.
We're all good here. Everything's fine. How are you?
Yes. I think we're good. I don't know if I've derailed your show or not.
Probably. I'm now
for free advertisement.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Plazookas. We'll talk to you later. Oh, what are you guys doing? We ready to start the show again?
Yeah, you can start. I'll leave.
Well, you don't have to leave. Were you in the middle of talking to somebody?
No, we're fine.
No, we're good.
All right.
Let me give you a note.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Dick.
When you left,
mm-hmm.
some music started playing and some ads started playing, so nobody heard what the fuck they were talking about.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Me and Plazookas had a good combo, though.
Yeah, we did. It's all good. All right,
Well,
bye. Thanks.
Bye, you guys. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Where's that go? I'll go down here. All right.
I can't help but be racist. It's true.
Yeah, the waiting. I forgot I put music on that video that I was playing. So I got we're settling into some production. Give me a break. Give me a little time. Tech Protect and I aren't totally open for business yet. That's not true, but you know. Come on now. Welcome to the second part of Gabbin Games for the third. Here's what we're going to do. No, I didn't do anything on purpose. That was great if it sounded like I did, though. I just want to quickly skim through some of the gaming setups of 2025 that you get over on NeoGAF, because when I first started going through this, I was like, it's okay, right? Like, this one's okay. Basically, if you don't know what this is, since 2004, NeoGAF has been putting out like a show us your gaming setup thread, and it's been running now for 10 years. 20 years. Good God almighty, 20 years. You know, you get some good stuff. It's really interesting how much money and time people spend on their setups. Like, this one's okay. This one's not so bad. You know, this one's like, whatever. Like, some of these are just like, whatever, right? But we're about to start getting into some. I got the reference. He didn't, Jonathan, but I did. But I didn't say boring conversation anyway, just because I thought that would be too on the nose. Hello, Rob the Mod. Like, this one, I mean, nothing wrong with this one. It's like my setup. There's just kind of very bland, right? There's nothing to it. You know, whatever. But we're about to start. I like this one. And obviously people show us the jokey ones, right? Like this one, which is great. There's another one like in another basement, which is fantastic. But then you start getting some where it's like, okay, this guy or girl is pretty fucking hardcore and pretty fucking serious, right? This one's kind of nice, not too bad. This one's okay. But I want to show you something like this one's like whatever. But I want to show you some of the ones that really blow my fucking mind that I just think are super fucking cool. They're look, I love that one. But let's go to the third page because we're 3 pages deep and you can look at it on your own. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I do want to show you some of the ones that caught my fancy, or 2 pages deep. Sorry. This is kind of where you start to see people who are like, all right, sit. Oh my God, that's Asmongold's place. This is where you kind of start. That's pretty good too. Yeah, that's great. Hang on. Yeah, I dig it. That's pretty good. But this is where you start to see some of the people who are like, sit down, let me show you how it's done, motherfucker. If I can get to them. Maybe it's on the first page. Hang on. Let's see. Come on. Where are the good ones? There's like 6 really good ones. I mean, that one's got nice lighting. It's okay. This is AI, of course. But look at... Oh, my God, come on. Okay, this is the first one I saw that I thought was pretty fucking cool. Mirrors as a movie theater and a game playing station, basically. I think this is pretty great. If you got a setup like this, I'm envious of you. This is fantastic. I would never leave this room if I had this room. This one's pretty good. They got a little UFC thing up here. They got a big fucking TV, nice big chairs. That one's real nice. I dig that one. That's pretty good. Good lighting in there. Look at that. Got a big car set up, hardcore racing sim set up. That's not bad. He's also got this video game TV or video game table, which is, I think 1UP makes these, which are the, you can play board games that are digital, which I think was really, really cool. So this one's kind of one of my favorites for sure. And then there's one other that I love, you know what I love? I love the ones that have the really beautiful board game tables. Like this might be it, but if you look at the ones where people play like D&D and shit, but it's like a fucking board game table that has, you know, all the sets and everything that you can expand. That shit's pretty fucking cool. So I like to check in with this throughout the year. This is always the best one. I like to check in, you know, from year to year to throughout the year to see if we get some real bangers in here. But so far, I think my favorite one is that big one that had the UFC board and whatnot, though. The theater room was pretty great as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even have a game room, Rob the Mod. Rob the Mod says my game room is pretty simple, meaning yours. Yeah, there's no game room. It's just my computer. I play in the den on the TV sometimes, but I prefer playing right in front of it, right in front of the screen. But if you know what I'm talking about, right? Those Dungeons and Dragons custom table. These things are kind of insanely cool if you play the D&D. But, you know, look at that. You've got like a fucking television in there where you can put your maps. Look at this one. Look at this fucking game room. Is this AI? No, this is a custom table. You can basically, these guys will build you a custom fucking table. Look at this, D&D tables. Give us a picture. Oh, I want a real, oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at that fucking table. I mean, my God. How incredible to play in a room like that. Look at that fucking thing. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anyway, all right, let's move on. I want to show you, so again, to NeoGAF, which I like aspects of NeoGAF, other aspects I don't, but this I thought was really interesting. They did a poll for the biggest disappointment of 2024. And this is kind of what we've got. My favorite game of the, not my favorite, my second favorite game of the year, or third, Dragon Age, is the number one disappointment for these people. So 36%, 37 if you round up, said Dragon Age Veilguard is the number one disappointment of 2024, followed by my number 5 game, Star Wars Outlaws, which, I mean, it's just like, again, if you want to know when you recognize, but why don't you make games anymore, Jaffe? Well, because I clearly don't know what the market wants, at least at the AAA level, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. You know, it's good to know when you're time to get off the stage sometimes. That's sometimes the best thing you can do. Dragon's Dogma is maybe in my top 10, but it's certainly in my top 15. That's the third most disappointing game of the fucking year, or the fourth. I mean, what? I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, though, it's weird, though. It may, I don't know. But Eurogamer released the Reader's Top 50 Games of 2024. Okay, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but I do want to go down to the top 10 and show you how interesting it is as it relates to the biggest disappointments of 2024, according to NeoGAF. So Star Wars is right in the middle, 25 out of 50. Then you get Unicorn Overlord is in my top 10 easy. Here it's 21. It's not even Stalker, great. Tactical Breach Wizards, I hear, is great. Haven't played it. Dragon's Dogma, okay, it's at least there in the top 16. And then look at the top 10, though. The top 10 is Stellar Blade. Dragon Age is number 9. This is the weirdest fucking thing about this game, is there are some people that just like me who just think it's really cool. And there's a lot of people that are just like, that's a piece of shit. It's the biggest disappointment of the year. I agree with you, Jose. If Dragon Age wasn't called Dragon Age, it wouldn't be so disappointing. That's probably a big part of it. Helldivers was their 8. Readers said the 7th best game of the year was Silent Hill 2 Remake. That's fair. Animal Well, I couldn't get into, but a lot of people love it. That's number 6. Number 5, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Number 4, Metaphor ReFantasio. Makes sense. Indy Jones in the Great Circle, my number 1 game of 2024, is number 3 for the readers. Number 2 is Balatro, okay. And number 1 is Astrobot, which, again, it's not even in my top 20. I really respect it. I appreciate it for what it is, but certainly I did not join the hype love train of Astrobot. But a lot of people just think it's the greatest thing, and that's great. That's their number 1 game. Okay. So there's a game coming out. I want to talk about this. There's a game coming out in 2025, and this escaped my 2025 list. I don't know why. Maybe they haven't been marketing it. I couldn't tell you. But the demo comes out the 21st, Eternal Strands. It is being made by one of the ex-creative director of Dragon Age. And it's being also made by a guy who worked on, I don't remember, another similar kind of game. But it's Eternal Strands. It's a Game Pass Day 1 game. There is a great cover story about it in Edge magazine that just came out. And as I show you the trailer, what I would like to do is just kind of read you guys some of the choice bits from the article, because I think this sounds really fucking cool. And then afterwards we'll talk about it. And then maybe if there's time, we'll look at the deep dive of it that's on YouTube. But here's what's super neat about this game is it is really one of the first RPG action games that is heavy physics based, right? And I'll just read you some of this from Edge. It says, you're fighting this dragon, right? And it says you could fire up a kinetic spell to fling nearby trees at the dragon while you move in to slice away at its torso with your sword. Or you could conjure lumps of ice to pin it to the ground. If you're canny, you could wait for the dragon to scorch the earth and then mine lob superheated rocks at its face. By the time you're using ice to place impromptu steps on the dragon's back, before inevitably losing your grip and falling into the fires below. And the idea of it basically is that it's almost like they look at Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Shadow of the Colossus as their big touchstones, their inspirations mechanically, where they really want you, not just in the navigation and exploring, but in the combat. They're like, we want to put so much emergent shit in this game that players are just sort of continuing to discover. And it's not just like this sword goes with this gem when you plug it in. It's stuff like, let me give you some more examples. It's really clever. It says, before you get to the magic stuff, there's a robust selection of systems. In terms of non-magic, players can switch between sword and shields and ranged weapons. The entire world is climbable, whether it's rocks or cliffs, tree bent like old spines of old men, or even the body of a fire-breathing drake dragon rending the clouds. You can climb on it all. Such movement is handled by stamina gauge right out of Zelda, which is one of their big inspirations. Their take on magic is this. It says, with real-time physics instead of bespoke rule systems, so you're not going to be saying how much damage does the enemy take. It depends, they say, based on how heavy the thing is you throw at the person, how armored they are, and how hard you threw it. When you're climbing on something, your actual grip strength is going to be based on how heavy your armor is and how heavy your sword is. It's actually going to be tied to real physics simulation, right? It says, in the game's opening moments, you'll realize ice can pin foes down or can create barriers when you're under attack. Kinetic energy can lob explosive fruit at ice to melt the ice and make the wall it was clinging to climbable. Fire can create area denial areas as well as doing damage, but it's never fire damage. We're back in ambient temperature zone. The game is modeling how hot the target is. So if they're near ice, that will actually cool down the enemy that you've set on fire and they'll take less damage. It says, the designer says, for me, emergence brings the fun, whether it's a board game, tabletop, RPG, whatever. The emergence of the moment with friends or alone with systems and stuff, that's where the true fun comes from. What we wanted was a moment where the player would go, oh yeah, that happened and I didn't expect it, but I can see why. The fire spread and then the support beam fell and then the whole building fell and then the dude exploded. To me, that's the benefit working with a systemic game system. They are tuning the game so you have lots of chances to fail and experiment and then kind of learn how to deal with the bigger challenges of the game. It talks about, listen to this. It says, frost has the additional thing of making metals brittle. That impacts armor and by extension, your approach to enemies that come with heavy armor. If you want to go crazy, they've built a system where the loop changes based on whether or not a creature has been made brittle. And the opposite is true. Enemies will drop hides or fur when they're killed, both of which can be used in crafting new items. But if you hold the fur over a fire before killing them, their fur gets burnt. So they drop more hide versus fur. And that affects the way you can craft things with it, like a sword or a shield or outfits or whatever. So there's so much freedom. The team is only 60 people. I don't know how ambitious this is really going to be, but at a conceptual level, I think this sounds so fucking cool and so fucking interesting. And it's exactly the kind of game I think that, you know, you want to see on a Game Pass. Cause I think people want to, you know, you got to give something like this a try. It's so experimental and it's so wild and different that I think if you don't let people test it out, I think they're going to be really kind of like, you got to let word of mouth on this fucking thing spread. So it's very complex because it can't be a classic beat 'em up. The problem with all the projects is they want to be very ambitious. Yeah, and it may not work. It may not work at all. But I'll tell you what, I mean, if it does, and somebody is saying that, oh, it reminds them of Breath of the Wild, to an extent, but it sounds to me when you watch this that this is a lot more like taking the philosophy of Breath of the Wild and then putting it into combat as well as navigation. So what I'd like to do, unless you guys are not interested, is I would like to show you a 14-minute video where they really kind of show you this and talk about this. Is that something you guys want to see, or you're like, no, Jaffe, I'll watch that on my own. I don't want to bore you. But if you want to see it, I'll put it up because I do think I think this is a game to keep an eye on. There's a demo coming out on Steam on the 21st. The game comes out on the 29th on Game Pass and PC and PS5. So everybody gets to play it. Let me put it up. This is the game. It sounds like Breath of the Wild sounds a lot like Skyrim. Okay. Well, let me show it to you and tell me what you think. We'll watch it together. I haven't seen it yet. I've just read the article. And I thought the article sounded excellent. Just fantastic. But here we go. This is called Eternal Strands, and it comes out this year, or this month, sorry. Here we go.
Best to assume the worst. This could mean an all-out war.
You sure she's ready for all of this?
Your reckless conduct has unleashed an enemy that nearly destroyed us 27 years ago.
Let's not lie to each other. I like you.
Can't say the feeling's mutual. I still believe in the dream of the Enclave.
If it takes us to restore it, I'm up for that challenge.
Did you see him climbing on that guy? That's kind of where the Shadow of the Colossus, I guess, comes in. Check it out. You'll see him climbing up the front plate right there. Right there. Okay, yeah, the fire, Wayne B says, does the fire look bad to anyone else? Yeah, the fire doesn't look great. I think the graphics look more than serviceable, but the screen is off center on stream. Okay, let me fix that. I think mechanically, I'd like to think most people would be like it absolutely, and they're about to deep dive into the mechanics, but I'd like to think mechanically most people would say, okay, this makes up for it in terms of kind of what it's doing and what it's about. But, you know, maybe not. But maybe, again, that's a good reason that it'll be on sorry, I'm moving this up. That's a good reason, I think, that it's going to end up on Game Pass, right? Because people need a chance to look at it and judge it without any kind of expectations of
I was dreaming about becoming
buying
a
it
point.
first.
To do it alongside a renowned Weaver band, it's a chance to make history.
The Surgeborn. They've had us on our back foot for decades. Ever since our people have been in crisis.
Our Weaver band is here to help. We're ready for anything, no matter what happens.
Sir, at Yellow Brick Games. And welcome to the world of Eternal Strands, a new fantasy action adventure game where the world around you is your weapon. In Eternal Strands, you will embark on your journey as a young, magic-wielding weaver named Bryn. She seeks to unravel the secrets of the Enclave, a once thriving center of magic, now left in ruins. At your base camp, you'll forge bonds with members of your Weaver band, who will support you in your expeditions with their various skills.
You've worked hard for this, and I have faith in you.
Select your next quest and customize your gear before venturing out through the Loom Gate on your way to discover the fate of these shattered lands.
Why is it a
In the
hard
Enclave,
sell,
you can climb and interact with nearly everything you see. The mantle, the magical cloak on your back, grants you control over frost, flame, and kinetic magic. Combine these elements in creative ways to manipulate the environment to your advantage and defeat your foes. But the Enclave's foes come in all sizes. Behold, an Ark. This colossal 25-meter construct wields immense power.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Pick your battles. Rather than risking your loot, return to base camp. A day has passed. Reforge your gear with your hard-earned resources to even the odds against the mighty epics. No two battles are the same, as epics roam freely between maps, and extreme weather alters the battlefield in this true physics playground.
Come on, I mean, that's cool,
Harnessing
man.
strands from these formidable adversaries allows you to weave new abilities into your mantle. With new powers at your command, and the world as your weapon, you hold the key to uncovering the mysteries of the Enclave. take up the mantle in Eternal Strands.
So after all the legends, this is it. The Enclave.
Bryn, you need to get out of there, now!
I was made for this, Aurea.
Weavers have known about this safe zone in the Veil's shadow for decades. No one's been this close in years. My hope is that we're going to find artifacts from the Enclave itself deeper into the shadow.
You can count on me. The Enclave was once the heart of magical development and trade for practitioners of magic all across the Maida Basin.
Yeah, I mean, there's no good time to release a game these days. Kingdom Come 2 is February 4th. But the fact that this is going to be Game Pass, I think, is going to help a lot for sure.
Almost half a century ago, when a cascade of arcane disasters...
Because it really is, it's got to have something to get people to try it, and I think Game Pass is the right call for a game like this. And then if it's a hit, then you sell the sequel, but...
Rich and powerful leaders were wounded and killed. Decades of war broke out. Every nation suffered an economic collapse.
After this video, I'm curious what you guys think the Metacritic on this will be. Like, I know some of you guys seem negative on it. I look at this and I could see this being really smart and really clever. Or it could not be, but I mean, it has great ambition, right?
Remember what it was like before the surge. I've never known a time when Weavers had a home. I chose this life years ago. But I'd be lying if I said it has lived up to all I hoped it would be.
Low 80s is not bad, P. Dudley.
Still, my luck might be changing. A few weeks ago, I began traveling with a new Weaver band. Now, they've brought me here, where it all began.
Art style for cutscenes is kind of nice.
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh, Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. This is, yeah, it's not just the Dragon Age creative director, it's also the Assassin's Creed Syndicate guy. And the DLC is being worked on by Square,
is an
so
upcoming
it's
single-player
weird.
action-adventure game developed and published by Yellow Brick Games, an independent studio founded by industry veterans including Mike Laidlaw, known for his work on the Dragon Age series. In Eternal Strands, players assume the role of Bryn, a warrior and member of the Weaver Order, embarking on a quest to uncover the secrets of a long-lost civilization.
All right,
known
all
as the
right, all
Enclave.
right. Who cares?
Reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus.
All right, so you get the point. This guy's just talking now. But anyway, there you go. You know, I think it looks really cool and really fun and really different. And I like that. I like really fun and really cool and really different. I would agree, though, that what's the game called? Kingdom Come 2. That deep dive really sold me on that. I was not interested at all in it because I really just didn't know what it was. And then watching the deep dive, I'm like, okay, this looks really, really cool too. Yeah, I mean, why are grifters going to go wild when this comes out, Jose? Why? Yeah, Merc, I didn't know about it either. I was kind of aware of it. I knew it was a day one Game Pass game, but I wasn't really following it. But yeah, I saw the article in Edge, and I'm like, yeah, it looks fucking cool. But I mean, I don't know, man. These days, the stuff I like You know, seriously, I mean, I don't know how I would work at a AAA company anymore, because clearly it's a really interesting thing for me to recognize that the stuff that I really like this year, like Star Wars, Dragon Age, Dragon's Dogma 2, all of those games are on the NeoGAF most disappointing games of the year list. So, you know, fuck, what the fuck do I know? But I'm excited for it. I did not play Sons of the Forest. No, I heard it's great though. Should I play it? Should I fucking play it? And I like all the climbing. I like that the giants roam around the environment in different places. I like that the weather not only can affect the fight, but all the heat and cold and stuff can actually work together. So if you're fighting someone in the cold, at least according to the article, it changes how you need to approach them. Or if you're fighting someone with armor, you should apply ice to make it brittle, so it's easier to break. I mean, if that stuff actually works and it's not just a fun group of talking points, I think that could be really fucking cool. Sons of the Forest game. What do we got here? 9 out of 10. People like it. Shit. Craft, build, and struggle to survive alone or with friends in this terrifying new open world horror simulator. Let's watch the trailer. Oh, I hear you, Dark Cloud. But again, if you have Game Pass, it won't cost you anything. That guy's cool. Okay, so is this better than 7 Days to Die or better than Green Hell? Like if you're gonna try to get into a survival game, which one would you be would you be looking at? Because I wouldn't mind getting into one of these, but I played a little bit of 7 Days to Die and I liked it. 7 Days is better just because I can mod it. Okay, well, I'm not going to mod it, so assuming that's not... Whoa! Conan Exiles. Okay, yeah, that's another one I should look at because I love Conan. Let me look at Conan. Yeah, I got to get one of these. Let's see.
You found me among the ashes. Broken. I did not understand why you helped me. But now, I see. You are a leader. Where you build, people flock. And yet, I see only ruin.
You're saying Sons of the Forest is amazing, but people are saying in their chat you have to put a lot of time into it, which I get. But how much time? Like you have to like it. You can't play anything else. It becomes just totally time consuming and nothing. Or what do you mean?
Vengeance calls me.
I shall answer. Fate shall know my name. I am Freya, warrior of the Aesir.
Didn't really show much gameplay. Gameplay. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm definitely going to play one of these. I'll do a little research and grab one. So, but there you go, fellas. That's been. Where's my? Oh, hang on. Let me get rid of this image. That's been the show. That's been Gabbin and Games, man. Oh, Sons of the Forest is on GeForce Now. That'll probably push it over the edge. I assume Conan is as well, right? In Arc, but I'll do some research and see. Spec Ops: The Line. Yes, I actually bought it recently to play. Okay, so I'm back tomorrow with a morning show. I'm not sure what it is yet. It might be another Jaffe on Games. It might be a Jaffe stream. It might just be gameplay. And then, of course, we're back. Actually, no, tomorrow's Saturday. So I have to make some videos tomorrow, but I will be streaming something live tomorrow, but I don't know what. But, of course, come Monday, we're back. 2 shows every day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the late afternoon. Everybody thank Tech Protect for showing up and helping out and kind of helping get us on a path to a little bit more of a professional experience. And thank you, Bukaki and Rob the Mod and RPG and all the wonderful mods that keep things rolling. And I will see you guys maybe tonight on a game stream. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, Swapfire, I hope you don't mind that we're running your ads now. And we're being, I don't know if it matters anymore because I know your free month is gone, but Swapfire is the guy who makes one of the games that you're seeing advertised in the intro, at the breaks, and up top there. And so I recommend giving it a shot. It's pretty fucking cool. We played it on stream about 4 months ago. So in the meantime, though, be well, be safe, and I will talk to you guys very soon. All right. Bye, guys.